Hello, everybody. So April is uh, Jazz Appreciation Month, and so we're gonna do a book called Hip Cat by Jonathan Landon, illustrated by Woodley Hubbard. Now, something to point out before I start this book is it talks about how he's scatting, which is a jazz term for when you just kind of come up with random syllables while you're doing. So instead of actually saying words, it's like ooby doo wah ba ba dee da woo dee ba ba dee ba bow. Like none of those are actual words, but you can still make music with them, right? So that's called scatting. And the other thing is, a lot of times when we read books and it has a rhyme to it, it's just kind of like, and it has a really regular meter and it rhymes always at the same thing. But jazz is a little different. Jazz is all about doing improvisation and trying new things. And so this book isn't necessarily going to always feel like the rhythm you feel like it should, because it's trying things that are new and different. So, here we go. Hip Cat. He was a hip cat, a cool cat, living all alone in a riverside shack. Ooby-Doo John, the sax man, scat man, the cool cat man. One day he said to himself, all I want to do is make jazzy music. So he picked up his sax, what his friends called an axe, and he tipped his beret and said, scat cat, go. Hip cat, daddy-o's got a horn to blow. And that cat scat. He hopped on the night train, the faster than light train, and in no time he came to a city by a bay. It was a bebop rebop city, a bongo congo roller coaster jazz in your bone city. Hip Cat moseyed along, singing a song, swinging a sax. He slipped into Minnie's can-do on Fillmore and said, sweet Minnie, I want to blow my horn. Big Max, the Manx cat, was reading poetry at the mic, stomping the floor to the rhythm of his words. And when he was through, our hip cat hero, with a horn to blow, blew. His sax bobbed and swung and screeched and skonked and purred and barked. The cats in the club said, go cat, go, and Hip Cat wailed into that horn. He wailed his song of longing, his song of joy, his song of loneliness and looniness. And the crowd went crazy. The joint was jumping, toes tapping, and cats bopping, chairs dancing, and shadows hopping. Still tapping his toes and bobbing his head, Hip Cat stopped blowing and started ooby-dooing instead. Ooby-doo-ee, blah, 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 shooby-doo, what in my cat is a kitty, so-wah, booby-doo, wah, bop, bum, bang. His new fans loved him and many hugged him. He was a bad cat, a mad cat, a rad cat. But Minnie could only pay him with peanuts. Now he was a penniless hip cat daddy-o with a tale to tell and a tale to wail. He hit all the jazz joints in town looking for a gig that would pay the rent. He was getting tired of living in a tent. But the joints were owned by the top dogs. If cats wanted to make it, they couldn't just fake it. He said, if dogs can run free, why not me? So Ooby-Doo played his sax under the bridges. He played in the fog and he played on the ridges. He played all day and he played all night. He played for no pay, but he kept up the fight. But he had to eat and there was no money in sight. So he played his sax at all the tourist traps. Tourists with cameras tossed coins in his cap. Then he became a short order cook at the Doggy Diner. But he knew he could do something a whole lot finer. One night he slipped back into Minnie's can-do. Minnie said, Ooby-Doo, how do you do? Ooby-Doo said, I'm feeling kind of blue. Minnie said, sing it. you can do. Big Max and some Minx cats and cats and minks were jamming on their axes, playing some licks. They said, "Who's that cat from the sticks?" Then they remembered and shouted, "Ooby-Doo! What do you do? Let the cats out of the zoo!" So he blew his horn, all bluesy and forlorn. Then he started singing better than ever, remembering the river where he was born. Ooby-dooey, blah, 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 so wah, bebop, wamma, bing, bang, boom, shooby-doo, wop, bop, ba-dee-dee, my cat is a kitty, ooby-doo, blah. Then Ooby-Doo blew everybody away with his horn. And pretty soon word got around. Even the top dogs paid top dollar for Ooby-Doo to wail at the clubs. He played the hungry eye, he played the hungry you, he played the purple onion, and when he was through, the crowds went hog wild. Now wherever he went in style. He tore down his tent and he paid the rent. He ate tall ice creams and paid all his bills. They called him a jazz magician, a great musician, a poet of the blues. And when he rode the cable cars over the hills, his feet flew out in his shiny new shoes. Ooby-Doo shouted, "Do what you love to do and do it well." He was a hip cat, daddy-o, with a tale to tell. He told it with his music and his ooby-doo-ah-diddy-wah, shooby-doo-all-day. My cat is a kitty, and we play all day. Even the fat cats and the river rats back home listened to his music on the radio. They called him One Cool Daddy-o. He was a hip cat, a cool cat, a bad, mad, rad cat. Ooby-Doo John, the sax man, scat man, the long, sleek cat man. The end. So please enjoy. Go listen to some jazz. Jazz is awesome. So, bye.